So I was looking through some files on my computer and I found out that I wrote down that I had this scramble along with the solution, which I didn't look at before I tried the solve again and got a 5.10. So as it turns out, I did this solve, I don't know when, maybe like 2 years ago, and I completely forgot about it, but this is a crazy solution. You can go try it for yourself. My original time on the scramble, I don't know when, was 6.96, which was pretty slow for the solution that I did, which was crazy. So here you can notice that this is attached to this and their colors are wrong, but what I did was I inserted the blue here, and then that makes kind of like a 2x2x3 block, except it's misaligned by a D move, which means I just need to solve the other 2x2x3 block, which includes these pieces. So finish off the cross like that and keep it misaligned so that these edges are solved. I just need to solve this corner, this edge, this edge. So I think in about 4 moves here, I've completed 5 out of the 8 pieces for the F2L slots, which means I only need to fill in these 3 left. And so here, this one, you can move it into here, which solves another edge, and then you just need to solve these 2 as one last corner edge pair. So I inserted this one like this, because by doing it that way, you get these 2 set up. So you can put these 2 together to make your final slot, and then take these and insert them together. So this is like some crazy pseudo entire F2L, which is something that rarely ever happens. I've probably only done a full pseudo F2L solve once or twice in my life, this being one of them. And then to top it all off, it's a pretty easy last layer. So I did soon into a perm. So some of you watching will have fully followed that, but I know a lot of you guys don't know what I'm talking about when I say pseudo F2L. So it's a more advanced idea, and how it basically works is if we look at one F2L pair, so I've solved all F2L except for one edge and one corner. So it looks like I need to solve 2 pairs, but actually part of each one is solved. So if I just put these 2 unsolved pieces together, then I basically just have one slot I need to solve. So I can solve this how I normally would for this F2L pair with mismatching colors. So this F2L pair would be solved like this, and then I would just realign everything to have finished all of F2L. So if you want more clarification or just to learn and go through examples of this, then I have a full video about keyhole, which is the prerequisite knowledge for this, that ends up building up to pseudo F2L slots. And we never usually go to full pseudo F2L like I did in that solve, because it's usually not that easy and it's really hard to recognize since you're not matching colors of the pieces anymore. There's kind of a lot more freedom, but at the same time, it takes a lot more thinking, so it's not that fast. Or in theory, it could be amazingly fast in the sense that it saves a lot of moves, but it's really hard to recognize, so not super practical, or maybe someone will be really good with this in the future. So just to introduce the idea of pseudo F2L is here I'm going to solve the cross, and then I've never actually done a solve of just pseudo F2L, so I'm going to try and show you how it would look, but I cannot promise you I'll do a great job. So the idea is I'm just going to grab a random corner and I'm going to say I'll solve this one with a different edge than usual. I don't have any really lucky cases right now, but let's just say I'll solve it with this one. So I'm going to solve these 2 to the slot where the edge belongs, which is orange-blue. But I'm going to make sure that before I do that, the orange-green, which is the corner, is aligned below that edge, like that. And then I can just solve these 2 into the back slot. And then now I have solved both of these, and the cross is misaligned. So this is one more thing you have to keep track of. Where is the cross aligned, and how can I make sure that that's going well? So these 2 I can solve as a normal pair. So next I'll solve this one and this one. And so how I'm going to do that is just insert this corner into the correct spot and move that underneath that one. Now these 2 are solved. All right, lastly, I have these 2 and I can just solve them into the remaining spot. Then I can align the cross now or after OLL, it doesn't really matter. And then the rest of the solve is still the same. So yeah, that's the idea for pseudo F2L. So it's super efficient, but as of the time I'm saying this, it's not very practical because of recognition being hard. It would be amazing if this was the method that people just used in the future, but I don't know if we can realistically overcome the challenges with it. But for now, make sure you check out the keyhole and pseudo slotting video if you just want to learn how to use this sometimes in your solves, because it can really help in certain situations and it doesn't have to be the entire F2L for it to be good. So thanks for watching. I hope you learned something new, and I'll see you guys next time.